On tonight's episode, we talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
And other pop culture news from the week. All right, Mission Impossible. How was it?
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yes.
It was
the title of 1,000 colons.
It was as good as we expected. It was phenomenal. It was intense. I was surprised with the music and how the music goes, follow the action, and it was good. A few surprises. I felt like Haley Atwell. I thought, okay, the caster. She's actually really good on the movie. So there's a good surprise there, and it's intense. It's fun. It's long, but you don't notice because you can. If you blink, you miss. You can't stop to breathe. It's good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It is so well made. The stunts, even, you go to a movie like, they're fine. The stunts and everything, it's all pretend, right? Nope, this did not feel pretend at all. There were times I was like closing my eyes, like peeking through my fingers, like it was so intense and so caught up. Like you said, long movie, but it didn't feel that way at all. I kept expecting it to end because we knew it's a part 1, so I was like, oh, okay, here's a good place for a cliffhanger. Nope, it just kept going. And I'll be honest with this one, the longer the movie went, the more impossible everything felt. So they really nailed the whole Mission Impossible thing. Everybody turned in a phenomenal performance. Sets were fantastic. Lots of everything you love from Mission Impossible, like masks and gadgets and high stakes, and it was such a fun experience, and definitely one that you want to have in the theater.
Yeah.
This is one you should see in a theater because you just get like totally swallowed up in it. Like the train sequence, like, oh my gosh.
A lot of nods to the original movies. The train sequence. There's Ethan's past, even though it's not really explicit and explained on the first one, but it connects to something that happens before the first one. The whole joining IOF. No.
IMF.
And making this choice, they're gonna take him or whoever makes the choice out of their lives to protect. Kind of Assassin's Creed, living in the shadows to protect the light.
It's a good line.
And Kittredge came back from the first movie. He was the director, and he's back on this one. And of course, Ving Rhames, what's his book? Luther, Simon Pegg. Can't remember his name. This character's name.
I can't remember either.
Anyways, and
the adrenaline of the film has just like erased my memory of so many other details.
Silo Girl, what's her name?
Which girl?
Silo Girl.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson's back too, and
she's so good.
The threat is big. The mission seems impossible, but they will not stop the good guys to try to do the mission that they choose to accept. It's very good. It's like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Does deliver. It's a heck of a fun. And Tom Cruise and his crew and his cast did it again.
Yeah.
And
so solid.
And there's more coming. It's part 1 of 2. And next summer there's more coming. But this one, if you didn't see it, go see it. The movie just premiered. Is already blowing the box office numbers all the way up.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
And it totally deserves it. There's intense action. There are just like deep, like emotional scenes, intense emotional scenes. There are some truly hilarious moments. Like we laughed. This one didn't quite get me to tears, but like close. It's everything you could want. Everything you could want in a film.
Yeah, no,
it was a blast.
It's good. It's one to see it. I'm excited for the next one.
Oh yeah.
And Tom Cruise said that he's gonna do this until he's 80, and
you know what? Let him.
And he's in good shape, you know. Like he's 80, would be good 80. It's not like Biden's. It's like
yeah,
you know,
that's true. Not all 80s are the same.
Walk. He still runs like miles on set. He jumps out of cliffs.
Yeah.
He does a lot of his stunts, and yeah, so let him make more and more and bring people to the movies. And one thing that I loved about this one, it's Hollywood, the media making, the storytelling, movie making industry and TV too, has been falling for this fallacy of social norms and the whole woke garbage. They've been it always happened, but right now it's happening such a radical, fast ways that you see it, and it might not straight up offend you, but it will distract you from the story. You know, there's a character that is gonna pop in the story, and you know, people are not idiots. They will notice that the character is there not for the sake of the story.
Yeah.
Not to complement the saga of the hero or the villain. You know, it was put there because of a checklist. It was put there to preach an agenda. You know, but Mission Impossible, in this one specifically, from beginning to end, everybody is important, because they're good or because they're bad. Nothing distract you and detract you from the story. You know, there's no, they put this person or this theme there because, you know, because of the agenda. No, it's this story from beginning to end. You get to know the characters. You get to meet the characters you already know. You get to know the story. You follow them, and you get excited when they get excited. You get sad when they get sad. You are immersed into the story, and the story, it's about the story from beginning to end. There's no, like, they can put this again. Come on, like Hollywood does all the time, which I really, I really, and it's not really admire the word, it's really appreciate that, you know, there's still people willing to make movies for the purpose that movies are made, to tell a story, to entertain, start preaching, you know, because it's lame. It's like it detracts from the story of the movie. It doesn't help anyone's cause. If anything, it creates animosity. Is that
animosity
towards?
That's actually what I was thinking.
Yeah, it you know, it's like when you do it, if you do it properly, or if you do through metaphors. That's not the problem. That art always did that back to, you know, the Greek or the man in cave. It's through metaphors. But when there's no metaphor, when the metaphor, the line between reality and the metaphor is so thin that you see, it's like, so genius, so creative, right? But no, this one from beginning to end was so fun, so refreshing to see these characters we learned to love since, you know, the first movie, and even before the TV show, which is another great achievement. They made a movie out of a TV show, so very derivative, and it had some mutations on the first one, on the second one, and then the third one, some more changes with JJ, and then came Ghost Protocol, and it only grows. And it's so good, you know. It's like based on a TV show. It's like with rare exceptions, like Star Trek. There's I can think of a TV show that generated a movie franchise, you know, that became
not like this.
That's another difference between this and Star Trek, because Star Trek, when they made the movies, it wasn't their own thing.
That's right. It's the same cast
of the movie
and continuing their stories.
The TV. This one is their own creature, and evolved into this marvelous franchise that it's in good hands. They're doing a terrific job.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie, like, let them work together forever. It's great. I feel like this one really was a labor of love. This is the film that Tom Cruise was working on during the pandemic. Back in, I don't know if it was 2020, 2021. There's a story about Tom Cruise just losing it on set because crew members weren't wearing their masks properly. Something about that.
Yeah, and to be clear, the rules back there. It's like,
this was very early on when
we didn't know that mask.
It was the best. Useless. Yeah, it was the best.
So
we knew.
Everybody was trying to do their best.
Yeah, and he just lost it because he was like this, and part of the tirade, and we talked about it on the podcast way back then, but part of the tirade was just like, we're working so hard to keep this industry alive and to keep your jobs, and we have to work together. I've put everything on the line for this. We have to really work on that, and it's really shown his last few movies, last couple, like this one and Maverick, like. It just really shows how much he loves what he does and how he's doing it for the fans and is just making like really great stuff that like just makes our lives better, gets people to the theaters, and like it. Yeah, I'm just a lot of respect for what he's doing and how he's doing it, and it's phenomenal. Like
if you build it, they will come, you know, and he's giving the people what people want, and that's why it's so successful.
Yeah, the suspension of disbelief is such a big part of being able to really just get into a movie and enjoy it. And there was nothing to break that. Like the second the movie started, like we were in, and we didn't get out of it until I was like out of the theater before I was like back in reality. It was just a phenomenal experience. And I can't recommend it enough.
And it's so classic, you know. It's like the heroes are heroic, they are brave, and they're strong, and fast. The heroines, is that what you say?
Heroines.
The heroines are strong and smart and pretty, and the villains are bad.
So bad.
They are bad.
Yeah.
And you know, inexcusably bad. Unapologetically bad. You know, there's no if it was you would do the same, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Day, you know, the crap that they keep saying. They're trying to eliminate,
or the whole like, no, I won't be like you.
They're trying to eliminate evil and bad from the world, from our stories. And there's bad in the world. It's like they found freaking cocaine in the White House.
That's not even the worst part.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. The son of the president is a crackhead that is negotiating with China. Anyways,
Vladimir Putin is just like launching young men at Ukraine for the sake of his ego.
Child traffickers trafficking little kids. Anyway, so that's evil in the world. When comes our storytellers come our media to bring villains that are not villains. It's, you know, it's calling us stupid. It's you know, ignoring a very important aspect of telling a story, which is educating by archetypes, by metaphors that will teach not only kids but young kids and generations to come that there is good and evil, and good will prevail and evil will fail, and there's nothing justify being evil. So it's just sad and ridiculous that Hollywood, that, you know, stories do that, but they keep doing that all the time. It does not stop.
And that's not to say that Ethan Hunt and his crew, like, and his friends, they're not invulnerable in anything. We see them have moments of weakness and a crisis of faith, and suffer some like failures and all the rest, but like they persevere despite that, and they make it happen, and they help each other, and it's like, it's good stuff.
And the cherry on the.
It's uplifting. It's optimistic.
Yes, and the cherry on the top is Ethan Hunt. It's old, has been forever since Tom Cruise is doing Mission Impossible, and as he gets old, he gets better. He like, there's moments that he has to choose between the mission and his family and his friends and his team, and he chooses his team, even though the team's like, nah, we have you, we're gonna do this. Anyways, to the end, he is the hero, different than what Disney's been doing crap that they did in Indiana Jones with Luke Skywalker. That as you get old, you get cynical and dark, and it's like, screw the world. It's like, come on. And it's the studio's quote for kids. Kind of lesson they're doing to kids.
It's such a bummer.
They're teaching kids that, like, hey, you're gonna do great. You're gonna be a hero in life, but as you get old, like daddy or grandpa, you're gonna become an idiot, a quitter. It's what?
Yeah. No, it's not great.
But Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, it's so good. It's one of those that, like, dang it, I want to watch it again. It's rare, but it's like, it's so good.
This one, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I would love to watch it again.
Yeah.
And also all the other Mission Impossible movies, like, oh my gosh. All right, anything else about that?
Well,
besides just continuing to just glow and rave.
There's a part 2 coming next.
Not soon enough, but that's okay.
Next year. Oh, but it's good. It's good because it's some part 1, part 2. Like, I think Harry Potter did that. Marvel Infinity War. I can't remember if Infinity War did that. But they do like summer and then end of the year, Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise says, like, I make movies for summer, so this summer, next summer.
Yeah.
So
it's okay. I say not soon enough because, like, I want more of this, but also, like, I respect the process. If that's the time they need to make this a really good, take your time.
But the movie did great. It's doing great on the previews, and is expected to hit big on the box office.
Yeah. So see it as soon as you can. You will not regret it. It is a blast. Okay. The Emmy nominations for 2023 were announced.
This week we had the Emmys. And the nominated are, and the Emmys, but that's the thing, will the Emmys actually happen? There's a strike going on, and this strike was amplified, so we had the Writers Guild
of America.
Yeah. They started the strike a couple months ago,
back in May.
And the actors now decided to join, they're going to do their own strike because their demands were not attended. But we're coming back for more strike. Let's go to the Emmys.
Okay.
And then we come back for the strike.
All right.
Well, the nominations are for Best Drama Series.
Andor, Better Call Saul, The Crown, House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, Succession, The White Lotus, and Yellow Jackets.
The White Lotus is on drama?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of surprises there. Better Call Saul is still a little legible. It feels like it was like years ago.
It does. But I'm happy to see them nominated because that show is so good. Yeah, and it stayed strong. Yeah.
On the surprises, I guess my big surprise there was White Lotus, Succession.
Yeah.
Tons of nominations. HBO was by far the most nominated.
Oh yeah, network. It was a really good evening for HBO.
Here alone, we see House of the Dragon, Last of Us, Succession, White Lotus.
Yeah.
So they cleaned the house. All nominations. Let's see who's gonna win, but most likely they're gonna win a lot. For comedy series, have Abbott Elementary. That's a broadcast.
Yeah.
Network.
We need to see that. I've only heard good things.
I think it's ABC, and it keeps being nominated.
Yeah.
followed by HBO's Barry, Hulu FX The Bear, Jury Duty from Amazon Prime, which was this mix of reality prank show.
Yeah.
It was a surprise. It was fun. Was fun.
I thought it was very funny.
I thought the concept, for me in the beginning, the concept was super weird because why everybody is acting to entertain this guy even if the guy's not watching. But once you watch, it makes sense. It's entertaining for the audience. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel from Amazon, Only Murders in the Building from Hulu, and Ted Lasso from Apple.
And Wednesday from Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. For limited series, we have Beef, Dahmer, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fleshman is in Trouble, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, so we have Beef Netflix, Dahmer Netflix, Daisy Jones HBO, Fleshman Hulu FX, and Obi-Wan Disney.
Yeah. The Dahmer nominations, they were nominated quite a few times, but the Dahmer nominations are getting kind of controversial. The victim's family lawyer has made a statement criticizing the nominations for glamorizing violent crime.
Yeah, the show has been surrounded by that controversy since the very beginning. Also, there was a controversy that the show had LGBT community on the tags on Netflix, and the LGBT community got pissed. They shouldn't do that, even though the character was. But anyways, for actor in drama series, you have Jeff Bridges for The Old Man, Hulu FX, Brian Cox for Succession, HBO Max, Kieran Culkin for Succession, also HBO, Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, Pedro Pascal for The Last of Us, Jeremy Strong Succession, and
that's it.
I think between Succession, Jeff Bridges, and Bob Odenkirk, Pedro Pascal was nominated. If he wins, it's one of those surprises because it's the last year of Succession. It's his first year of his show, so they might get him next time. Yeah. Or if you know the game, will they? We don't know how the second season is gonna be, but
we have no idea. But Pedro Pascal was also nominated for his host episode of SNL.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a great night either way.
That's a weird award to be nominated for guest on SNL.
Like, that's not the nomination. It was like guest appearance on a variety show or some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Guest appearance on a variety show.
Yeah, the categories get like so obscure. It took me ages to narrow it down to this. Oh my gosh, it's so much. Anyway, for lead actress in a drama, we have Sharon Horgan from Bad Sisters, Melanie Linsky for Yellow Jackets, Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale, Bella Ramsey on The Last of Us, Kerry Russell on The Diplomat, and Sarah Snook from Succession.
Yeah, some heavy hitters and some newcomers. In lead acting comedy series, I have Bill Hader for Barry, Jason Segel from Shrinking, Martin Short, Only Murders in the Building, Jason Sudeikis from Ted Lasso, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. So again, big heavy hitters. That is the last year of Barry. So I don't know.
Bill Hader also got a nomination for directing for Barry. Okay, lead actress in a comedy, Christina Applegate, Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Quinta Brunson. It might be Quinta Brunson. I don't know. Okay, for Abbott Elementary, Natasha Lyonne, Poker Face, and Jenna Ortega, Wednesday.
Yeah, leading actor in limited series or movie, Taron Egerton from Blackbird, Apple.
Which is phenomenal.
Kumail Nanjiani for Welcome to Chippendales, Evan Peters for Dahmer, Daniel Radcliffe for Weird Al, Michael Shannon for Georgie and Tammy, and Stephen Young for Beef.
Lead actress in a limited series or movie, Lizzie Kaplan, Fleshman is in Trouble, Jessica Chastain, George and Tammy, Dominique Fishback, Swarm, Catherine Hahn, Tiny Beautiful Things, Riley, I'm not sure how to say that, Daisy Jones and the Six, and Ali Wong for Beef.
Riley Keough.
Kuf?
Well, you have to say something.
Kef.
This is
Cough.
audio.
I did.
I
said.
People that are only listening, they have no idea.
Fair enough. Riley, Keough.
Okay.
I don't know.
Supporting actor in comedy series. Anthony Carrigan for Barry.
Which characters?
It's Barry.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the character's name, but he was awesome.
Yeah.
On Gotham. He was just cast as Metamorpho on the DC so-called Superman movie.
Yeah.
Phil Dunster from Ted Lasso. Brad Goldstein from Ted Lasso. James Marsden from Jury Duty. Eben Moss Backrack from The Bear.
That's a cool
Tyler
name.
James Williams from Abbott Elementary. And Harry Winkler from Barry.
Yeah.
Cosino and the Cosino School of Acting.
Yes, the actor. Okay. Supporting actress in the comedy series: Alex Borstein from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Io Adibri from The Bear, Janelle James, Abbott Elementary, Shirley Ralph, Abbott Elementary, Juno Temple, Ted Lasso, Hannah Waddingham, Ted Lasso, and Jessica Williams in Shrieking.
Yeah. Let's keep some of those acting categories.
Okay.
There's so many acting
There
categories.
are. Yeah, because you got actor, actress, lead, supporting, and then all the other subcategories.
Yeah, let's pick this one. Supporting actor in a limited series or movie.
Okay.
Laurie Battlett for Welcome to Chippendales. Paul Walter Hauser from Blackbird. It's funny because he does a lot of comedies. And then, boom, he does dramatic roles. And he was nominated for Richard Neal.
And he's spectacular in both of them.
Yeah.
In Blackbird, he was sickening and disturbing. And then, what do we see him in just now?
He's on.
He's in After Party season 2. The guy's hilarious. I would love to hang out with him.
Of course, he was in Cobra Kai.
Acting, that's right. He shows up there. I'm like, dude, you just got what the heck? Why are you here?
Also, same category, we have Richard Jenkins for Dahmer, Joseph Lee for Beef, Ray Liotta, Blackbird. Is a posthumous nomination. He passed away recently, and the daughter actually said that he would be beyond happy wherever he is if he would win. But he already is with the nomination. Young Mazzino for Beef. Jesse Plemons from Love and Death. Okay, let's skip some of the guests, and unless you want to talk about someone.
Don't think so.
Acting.
Yeah.
Variety talk series. Have the Daily Show. Not surprised. Jimmy Kimmel. Late Night with Seth Meyers. Late Show with Colbert. The Problem with Jon Stewart.
I feel like that's most of the variety talk series.
It's always those.
Yeah.
And Stewart used to win every year. I don't know who is winning these days, but definitely not going to be Seth Meyers.
Both Prey from Hulu and Weird, the Al Yankovic story from Roku, were nominated for Outstanding Television Movie. Yeah, Prey was on Hulu.
Ah, okay.
Weird was on Roku.
So you said both from Roku.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, Bob's Burgers got a nom for Animated Program, which made us happy. Weird Al got a nomination for... Weird, the Al Yankovic story, got a nomination for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics. And Original Main Title Theme, The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, was nominated.
Originally main title?
Yeah, Original Main Title Theme.
Oh, wow.
Which raises eyebrows for me because...
Andor is 3 seconds.
Yeah, Andor got a nomination.
And it's 3 seconds, dun 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 dun.
Yeah, but they're really good seconds, I guess.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm really flummoxed by The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, because Howard Shore wrote those themes for,
The Lord of the Rings. The truly Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So, anyways.
The ones where elves have...
are tall and have long hair.
Yeah, and they are fair.
Yes.
Fair elf. Anyways. Moving on from the Emmys.
Okay.
Again, it might not happen because of the strike. So this week was the deadline between the SAG-AFTRA, the unions, the unions of actors, with the studios. They met again and they could not cut a deal. So it's fine. We're gonna go on a strike. So they're gonna basically join the writers and gonna try to get their demands listened.
Yeah. Some of the strike rules include no film shoots, no press, no voiceovers.
No singing, no dancing.
No joy. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe they're allowed to be happy. But yeah, there's a lot of strict rules. And this is going to affect some events coming up. Specifically, the big comic conventions where these actors and actresses make appearances and get to meet and greet with fans and talk about their work. And
the Entertainment Weekly Bash, they do a San Diego International Comic Con every year. That was already canceled. And there's some cracks in the rules that allow people to participate in some of those things. For instance, they cannot promote any movies, current movies, or even movies. Recent movies it's not super old movies, but they cannot promote or do events related to any new movies coming or recent movies.
So for example, Harrison Ford could talk about Indiana Jones, but he couldn't talk about Indiana Jones.
He could talk about the old Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And I think they would and they would look at that with bad eyes. And again, Harrison Ford is like, he was asked at the premiere of Indiana Jones, is like, if you had a time machine, where would you go? And it's like, home. Yeah, I would go home with my mom since I go home. So strike, he would be sitting at home.
Yeah.
In his ranch, whatever. Anyways, but there's some possibilities, is actors and actresses could go to events where they would sign non-related to productions. Like, for instance, let's compare San Diego Comic Con and Salt Lake City FanX. San Diego Comic Con, they are there to promote movies that are coming, series that are coming. It's contracted, it's linked straight to the studios.
Yeah.
That could not happen. FanX is for the fans. They come to talk, to celebrate the fans, to celebrate their work. That would be possible. But it's FanX. San Diego is coming. It's next week's, and that's gonna be destroyed. That's gonna be a big blow.
Yeah.
But FanX in September, so hopefully by then that will be solved or not. We don't know. But if anything, even those the actors that are part of the union, they most likely, and this is happening with writers too, they most likely would not get involved with that in solidarity to everybody else, because that person is working, is making money, when their fellow co-workers are not. So most likely they're not gonna do that, because also they don't want to be bad seen or blackballed by the union. And even the non-union actors, they want to be part of the union one day. They don't want to be going against that. So it's a big one. So it's gonna be big. It's gonna strike hard.
Yeah,
but
we're already seeing it at the Oppenheimer UK premiere. The actors weren't there.
Yeah, they didn't show up. The director was there, and he explained everything. The Directors Guild, by the way, they got their deal.
Yeah.
The studios will pay because the directors direct without them. Yeah.
It's true, but directors need scripts and actors.
Well, the directors
at some point.
Most good directors write, so they do need
fair
actors.
Enough.
But Hitchcock, actors are cattle. So, anyways, I'm not saying that.
Kenneth Branagh stars in a lot of his own work, so he might be okay.
But
anyway.
Still, the industry is gonna be on a halt for several reasons.
Yeah.
But a big head of a studio, Bob Iger, the head of Disney, said the demands, the expectations are just not realistic. So he's one of the big studio heads. So if the other ones are thinking the same, this might drag for a long time.
Yeah, we shall see. The studios say they presented SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, with a, quote, groundbreaking AI proposal and double-digit minimum pay increases. What's an AI proposal? Like, what do they mean by that?
Because one of the biggest demands is about AI, because you can tell AI to write a movie, the AI will write a movie, which is taking jobs from writers. You can tell AI to you can create a character in AI, deepfake technology, and use an actor image. There's no... The law is very, very tricky about it. So one of the biggest demands of the strikers is regulations and norms about the use of AI. Because an industry like journalism, it's you see articles and news out there that's completely written by AI, and those the members of that industry, writers, workers, they will fall, because it doesn't seem like they are having the fight like the writers and the actors are trying to do. So AI will came to stay, and will take a lot of those jobs.
And really, that seems, this advancing new technology seems to be at the crux of these strikes. So not just the AI, but then also this whole concept of streaming that's completely disrupted the pay structures for writers and actors. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime,
just one quick one about AI. Just as I mentioned, the Associated Press (AP) signed a contract with OpenAI, 2-year deal for news sharing. So there you go. They here to stay. They have to find solutions for it. Or this industry will change forever. And it's like people that raise horses. It was a big industry back centuries ago, right? And now it's a hobby. It's they have all the types of transportation. So the creative industry might go the way of the horse.
I hope not. That's just kind of depressing. Well, Bob Iger is doing fine. Disney extended his contract through 2026, and he actually said something intelligent and that I agree with, which is kind of exciting.
He's creating content for Disney Plus, diluted focus and attention at Marvel Pixar. It's like they're making too much, and they're not being able to quality control, not being able to keep it up.
It's not getting marketed enough. And then the market's saturated and nobody cares. We don't have time to anticipate or get excited. And then why would we? Because the quality's just meh. So maybe we're on the verge of something better. We'll see. In the meantime, MeTV is now available on DirecTV.
Yeah.
Yippee
classic television there for you. That's signed DirecTV.
Amblin Partners and Universal Pictures have gotten together.
Yeah, they signed a multi-year deal. Spielberg's company gonna have ability to create more at Universal. Again, directors are fine. Kevin Spacey gets emotional at his trial in London about sex assault. He said he never thought, talking about the accuser, that the accuser would stab him in the back.
Which is funny. It was probably what the accuser said too.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
Stab, 2 men, stab here, stab there, stab.
Okay, no. It's just, I get the whole innocent until proven guilty, but he seems really guilty and gross about it. The Gollum game, shockingly, was not a great success.
It was a big fail.
Who could have predicted that?
It looked. I mean, if it looked good, it would be interesting. But it looked terrible.
It looked so bad.
And to the point that the company laid off developers and cancel another Lord of the Rings project. So good. Don't ruin more Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You already have Amazon doing that. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tom Holland, who's coming off of a really intense show, The Crowded Room, he has started opening up about his alcohol addiction and how he's kind of taken that on and come to grips with it.
He talks about how alcohol is an addiction, but it's out in the open, it's socially accepted. Everybody drinks everywhere for with reason or for no reason. So he got into that, and he struggled, but now he's fighting and trying to recover. So good for him. And it's a danger that can, addiction, especially the alcohol that's so accessible. It's it can get anyone, and that's the dangers of legalizing certain other drugs that might cause the same problems. Social accepted is like, oh, but this guy drank his whole life and it was fine, but this guy drunk once and done for life. But yeah,
and his story, the way he talks about it, is really interesting. That he didn't really necessarily think of himself as having a problem, but I guess he took part in like the Dry January challenge or something, and he was started to realize how much he used it as a crutch, like to get through social situations, but it wasn't actually making his life any better. And then he wanted to prove to himself that he didn't have a problem, so he decided to stay sober through February. And then he's like, nope, I've got to prove it to myself even more. And then he said by June, he was like the happiest and the healthiest he'd felt in ages. So
good one.
Yeah, and I love how he's talking about it openly, in like really positive ways, and explaining like how it made his life worse versus now how he's doing better, and I think it's really positive.
Yeah. We saw some trailers for brand new trailers for stuff coming.
Stuff looks good.
The first one was Napoleon from
good pronunciation, babe.
Ridley Scott. Napoleon from Ridley Scott, the director of the credits that kind of made me giggle because from Ridley Scott, the director of it, it's not like his vast list,
his resume,
great movies, Oscar-winning movies. Anyways, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby. I think that's the main characters. It looks good.
It looks phenomenal. There are, there's a lot that I don't remember about Napoleon or all of this.
He was French.
Yes. Born and raised in the Isle of Corsica and all this. Anyway, but yeah, it looks phenomenal. There are several scenes that are just like straight from contemporary paintings. Joaquin Phoenix looks fantastic. I love his relationship with what we see of his relationship with the Empress Josephine, played by Vanessa Kirby. We see in the trailer the moment when he crowns himself as the Emperor of Europe. Like, it's such a good story. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one.
It does look good. It comes out Thanksgiving by Apple. Hopefully, Apple will do a theater release because it looks like it deserves.
I would like to see that. And if Ridley Scott, I loved what he did with The Last Duel, and so if he can do a good job with this, like, that would be great.
Ridley Scott?
Didn't he do The Last Duel?
You say if he could do a good job with this?
I mean, let me be more specific. He's gonna do a good job. The historicity of The Last Duel was off the charts in a way that we don't often see from medieval films based in the Middle Ages. If he can maintain that same level of historicity for Napoleon, I would be the happiest person.
Okay.
It would be great.
Your lack of faith from Ridley Scott is...
It's my lack of faith in Hollywood when they get into history.
It's Ridley
That's
Scott.
what I have a problem with.
It's Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott is a great filmmaker.
It's not Michael Scott. This is not threat level midnight.
Yeah.
Anyways, we also saw the trailer for Wonka, the prequel story of Willy Wonka, the one Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Mm-hmm. And this seems like it is a prequel for the Gene Wilder film. There's several references throughout the trailer to the Gene Wilder film.
How can you tell?
Well, for starters, he says a line that Gene Wilder says over and over throughout the film, where he goes, strike that, reverse it.
Johnny Depp doesn't do that?
No.
Is that in the book?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We also have a fantastic moment. Like, I didn't know how badly I needed this until I saw it. Hugh Grant as an orange Oompa Loompa with green hair. He plays the same melody on the flute that Willy Wonka does, and then he starts doing the dance. The old school Oompa Loompa dance. And chef's kiss. It looks fun. Yeah.
Is it the book doesn't have a prequel, right?
No, he does share his backstory, and so I think this is kind of building all that. Not a lot of his backstory, but he talks about how the other chocolatiers started stealing his secrets and drove him out of business in the book, and we do see that they talk about it in the films briefly. Yes. Mm-hmm. And his journey to find the Oompa Loompas and things like that. So it's like they're taking that brief bit of backstory and expanding that into a full film.
It looks fun. The only weird thing I thought was he has a little girl friend.
Yeah.
And it feels like she's important at this point. It's like she died, because on the next one, on the following story, there's no reference to anyone but him and the Oompa Loompas. But anyways, we'll see. Mm-hmm. Maybe she does die.
That is the one thing. I wonder how far they're gonna take it. Like, are we gonna go right up to the golden ticket? Because the odds are good this could end as just a major bummer, right? Like, Willy Wonka has to shut down his factory and everything else, and then start it up again as like a recluse living in his factory with a bunch of Oompa Loompas. Like, that's not super happy.
I guess he could die. That's right.
Yeah, and then he brings in 5 children.
But it's not. It could not be a romantic relationship. She looks much younger than him. But again, he looks young.
No, she's a kid.
But again, he could be a kid.
I hope it's not, because we all know that Chalomet's not actually a kid, and this girl looked like a kid.
Sure.
This seemed more like a little Charlie Bucket type.
Okay.
Person. Anyways,
we also saw Nicolas Cage as a grandpa assassin in a movie called The Retirement Plan.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage has been doing some really good stuff, between the
unbearable weight of massive talent,
something like that.
Yeah.
That one was fun. And then he shows up as Dracula.
Renfield. He
shows up as Superman on The Flash. If you didn't know, sorry, it's spoiler, because come on, if you are not one of the 5 people that saw The Flash, you're probably not gonna see it, because Mission Impossible and The Sound of Freedom are both better. Taking over the movie theaters. Sound of Freedom, which, by the way, I went to check the movies today to see what was showing, and Atom, one of the major ticket selling platforms for the movie theater we are, even after Mission Impossible premiered, because technically premieres today, but anyways, the top of the billing was Sound of Freedom. Like, oh wow. Anyways,
all right, good for them. Okay, some casting announcements. Jennifer Garner is coming back as Elektra.
Yeah, for Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3, they also let images of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine come to light. So we see him on the classic yellow.
Yeah.
And people already starts hearing the music from the animation.
And honestly, it looks cool. Good. Yeah. It is not latex.
There's a couple of rumors around the production that one, for instance, that Ryan Reynolds cannot improv. He's not allowed to.
Yeah, that seems dumb. That's a dumb choice.
Wolverine might not be Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine in a movie, inside the movie. So it's not clear if it's true, but we'll see.
Yeah, seems like a cough out. Okay, DC's announced a bunch of stuff, casting, including perhaps one Klementieff.
So Klementieff, that worked with James Gunn maybe slept slept with him on this Guardians of the Galaxy. He announced that he wants her for DC. And at the same time, that there's rumors saying that there's a cast coming for the Huntress. So there's a lot of people connecting the dots and saying that she might be the Huntress, which I think she was great on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And she was great in Guardians. She's good. But again, the agenda, the distractions to catch her for the sake of the checklist diversity. Helena, what's her name? I forgot the last name. Helena.
Is she one of the Marcones?
No,
it's the other one.
Bertinelli? No. So Helena is Italian. The whole story is about, the Italian mafia family, and she takes over the family when the family die. Anyways, to change that. Okay, they should find her name. Bertinelli. I was right.
Look at you.
So, I don't like when they do that. One other thing that I don't like is Superman Legacy, the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
Kickstart sort of the new DC universe. A lot of people was announced to be part of the cast besides Clark Kent, Superman, Lois Lane that we talked about a couple weeks ago. They announced Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, but now Hal Jordan, the joke of the core, Guy Gardner. They also announced, I can't remember her name, but the girl there was Dora to be Hawk Girl. And the guy there was I can't remember his name. He was on the X-Men First Class. He was the guy that would transform himself on any material. He was announced to be Mr. Terrific. And personally, I thought I would like to Mr. Terrific. I would like someone tougher, deep voice.
Yeah, I could see that.
Skinny and kind of. Anyways, also they announced Anthony Carrigan from Barry to be Metamorpho. There's like.
This is a lot of big characters. Yeah.
There's supposed to be a Superman movie. Apparently, unless it's like cameos and jokes, like he did on Suicide Squad. Fillion was on Suicide Squad.
Right.
For 30 seconds and died.
Yeah.
Unless he's gonna do something like that. But even though it was like, why? Throwing away characters like that is like just because because you need a Latina, a black dude, and you want your friend there. Anyways, that is like, this guy is not gonna.
It's not filling us with confidence.
Because even Christopher Reeve's Richard Donner movie is spectacular. It's like it's a classic. It's the story of Superman, the Star Child that came to Earth. And there's funny moments, there's light moments, but it's the story of the Man of Steel, no pun intended, to the Snyder movie, and with all this, knowing that James Gunn like to make a clever joke here and then.
James.
But again, I said it again. If he fails, it's the DCU that fails, because he's one of the heads of the studio.
Yeah.
So if anything, I think it was a mistake for him to take over Superman. He should stay as the head of the studio and hire some decent director.
Yeah.
Because he's one horse pony. No, one trick pony. The first Guardians of the Galaxy was spectacular. Second, I was like, third one was better than the second.
Yeah.
But it's still not as good as the first one. So, so far he did one. But anyways.
Yeah. All right, we'll find out. We'll see. In the meantime, just how much do you love cheese? Do you love cheese as much as the Burger King customers in Thailand, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Burger King has a new cheeseburger that is truly just a cheeseburger. It's 20 slices of cheese, and only cheese, and no condiments, no meat, just 20 slices of American cheese on a bun. And apparently it is selling like hotcakes. It's very popular. They're having to turn customers away. So there you go. And then last but not least.
Oh, this 30-year-old father that had 2 full-time jobs won this video game contest.
Nice.
So go gamer dads, don't mess around. And apparently he wasn't a crazy gamer. He won the contest, and he said, I don't even have time to practice. I play casually, and he kicked butts. So yeah.
Way to go, man.
Well, yeah, that's it for this week. Next week we come back for what is he next week? Is
it finally Oppenheimer?
It's Oppenheimer.
Yes.
And Barbie. No Barbie. Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we'll stick with Oppenheimer.
And
I can't wait.
First reactions to the movie says it's a bomb. No kidding.
Ayo.
No, it blows people's minds.
Ayo.
It's like everybody is impressed, but again, this Christopher Nolan is not impressive.
We expect nothing less.
Impressive. So
yeah.
But anyways, that's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news, entertainment, and fun.
Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.